Mario's influence runs deep within the veins of gaming. As one of the first ever gaming mascot characters to grace the screens of homes around the world, it's no wonder we see so many reflections of the Jumpman across all facets of the industry. The amount of creativity, style, and innovation Nintendo has poured into almost every new Mario entry is wildly understated. Mario is essentially to gaming what the Beatles are to the music industry. The groundwork was laid, people loved it, and the imitation became the sincerest form of flattery. Mario started off jumping over barrels and flipping turtles with his younger brother, but soon became the side-scrolling action hero of a generation. In many of the most memorable Mario moments, we see our mustached protagonist running left to right, squashing Goombas and sending Koopa shells flying. When the Nintendo 64 debuted, we entered a whole new Mario universe, this time in 3D. Mario's sandbox-style games took these original concepts and expanded them in all the most fun and creative ways. Mario and crew also entered the RPG arena with several titles including the NES release, as well as many Paper Mario and Mario & Luigi titles. Then there are the spin-offs that have become just as iconic: Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros., Mario Party, and the endless lineup of Mario sports titles. The characters, environments, enemies, power-ups, and secrets are found throughout almost every iteration of the Italian plumber's massive catalog, and somehow it never gets old. With everything Mario has done for the industry, it's no surprise that other games have tried to capture that same magic. Some have done an amazing job, like Astro Bot, the 2024 Game of the Year winner. That game feels like a love letter to both PlayStation and Nintendo, and that's because it was.
And the Game of the Year is Astro Bot!
But let's not forget that even before PlayStation, there were people making platformers. I remember I was a kid in 1989, Christmas, and I got a grey box. There was a game packed in, it was called Super Mario Brothers, and it was really, really great. But I want to pay tribute to the company who really put platformers and showed us innovation and quality consistently and inspired us to actually make the game that we made. And I've managed not to mention them, have you noticed?
Other studios have followed suit with their own tributes to the mustachioed one. Sackboy: A Big Adventure plays like a cozy handcrafted version of Mario 3D World. Super Lucky's Tale calls back to the vibes of Super Mario 64, 3D World, and Odyssey, and A Hat in Time feels like a charming mashup of Sunshine and Galaxy with its playstyle. Then there are developers who proudly wear their influences on their sleeves.
Hey, this place reminds me of something else.
These titles aren't trying to be clones, but they definitely want you to know that a little piece of the red-hatted hero lives on in their game design. Games like Split Fiction, where one boss battle feels straight out of Mario Galaxy. Super Meat Boy, where your main goal is to save the princess and you even get some shot-for-shot moments like this one. Guacamelee, which is full of nods, but none more obvious than the boss who chases you to the end of the level only to fall into lava when you trigger a golden axe. And LEGO City Undercover, packed with Mario Easter eggs. All of them throw in nods that go beyond reference. They're celebrations. And while each of these games pulls inspiration from a variety of franchises and genres, their Mario moments always stand out as heartfelt tributes. Even Mario's spin-off games have had such a huge impact that other developers couldn't resist trying their hand. Mario Kart has seen so many iterations across the decades that it's practically a rite of passage for gamers, and even for some folks who don't consider themselves gamers at all. That's exactly why Crash Bandicoot, Sonic the Hedgehog, and even Nickelodeon jumped into the kart racing scene. Each franchise has put out their own versions trying to compete with the reigning champ. And then there's Smash Bros., another genre-defining title that started on the Nintendo 64. It's gathered a massive community over time, and that success didn't go unnoticed. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale was Sony's attempt to capture that brawler magic with its own roster of iconic characters. Then came Brawlhalla, which brought in some new faces to the scene, and more recently, Multiverses and Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, both of which pack the stage with familiar faces. But no matter how close they get, none of them have managed to knock out the reigning king, our big Smash Bro. And now we arrive at the games that take the influence a little too far, and not always in a flattering way. Some of these titles go so hard copying Mario that they've actually gotten legal heat from Nintendo. The Great Gianna Sisters, for example, had its cartridges pulled from the shelves after a cease and desist from the Nintendo Ninjas. Games like Kid Cool and the Quest for the Seven Wonder Herbs and Dian Shi Mali either pushed too close to Mario's look and feel, or just flat out tried using his image to sell their games. And it doesn't stop there. The mobile game market is flooded with Mario wannabes. Titles like Lep's World, Super Beano Go, and Super Bob's World borrow the aesthetic, mechanics, sound effects, and platforming structure of classic Mario games to draw players in. But let's be honest, none of them have that Nintendo polish. So why does Mario show up everywhere? Because Mario games are a masterclass in game design. They teach players without overwhelming them with tutorials. They introduce mechanics organically. They balance creativity with structure and challenge with accessibility. Mario isn't just a character, he's a framework. If you want to make a game that feels good, teaches well, and delights players, you could do a lot worse than following the Mario method. What do you think? Have you played a game recently that reminded you of Mario? Or maybe one that tried to be Mario but totally missed the mark? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more design-focused takes on gaming. Also, if you're curious to hear my thoughts on the new Donkey Kong redesign, or want to check out my breakdown of the design evolution of Nintendo Directs, you can find those videos right here. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I'll see you next time.